Hello to you. Good day. Today is Saturday, April 6th, 2019. Hope you are well. Um, so, over the years, we've done recordings on taking responsibility for ourselves, for our actions, for our lives. And and still, we're going to do another one. Because it's funny that we can learn lessons, but then when time passes and you have other experiences, um, you grow and you change, and so then when you revisit some past lesson or it comes up again, but it's got another flavor to it. So and that's just the way life is. And sometimes with these lessons, you feel like, didn't I? I feel like I've been through this once or twice already. But in this case, you may not even feel that way because it seems like when we're beginning to understand this idea about taking responsibility and appreciating the importance of that, sometimes it's difficult to get that engine started. Not that we were totally irresponsible people, but just accepting and owning our our input into the whole thing, and just sometimes it's just difficult, those initial steps in taking responsibility. And then we progress somewhat, and then realize, oh, here are other situations, and then it just has a different feel to it. It becomes more, once we become kind of used to the idea of it and making application of it when we're conscious, when we're like there in the moment, say, oh, yeah, I need to take risks. Well, then fast forward, then it becomes more automatic for us to be that way. But then life says, that's pretty good. But there are still some areas that need attention here when it comes to your taking responsibility in your life. And so we're gonna show this to you right now, and have fun. So the aspect that we're going to speak on today has to do with taking ownership, or accepting the ownership that we hold of our opinions and our views in difficult situations. Okay, so sometimes when we think about taking responsibility, it has to do a lot more with, or in the past, it's had to do with, okay, I got to take responsibility for my actions, for my words, for the way I move around in this place. Now it's about taking responsibility for our thoughts and feelings and opinions, and those stirrings we get inside when we feel, at the least, a slight discomfort to full on irritation and annoyance in situations, and taking responsibility for that. Now, that's none of it's a walk in the park. None of it's what you would call fun. But it's necessary if we're interested in continuing to grow. and continuing to just be the optimum of what we can be in this moment, not according to other people, but within ourselves. We know, we feel. So that's what we're going to talk about for a few minutes here. It's not easy, because oftentimes, well, we'll say this, because sometimes when someone, what do you say, acts up, when someone, maybe they have done something or said something that was inappropriate. And initially, it's natural to feel what we feel. Like, oh, okay. When someone is outright rude to us, you see, and or disrespectful or mean to us, nasty, trying to cut us down or anything like that, we're going to have a feeling toward that, because that's not the way that love, manifests. And so if we're about love and we're about expressing love and sharing love in this place, and then we feel that other vibration coming in, we're going to feel it. We're definitely going to feel it. And to try to suppress what we naturally feel inside instinctively when those situations arise is not healthy. And it's not something that we encourage, because it's not the truth. We need to, otherwise, when we continue to just swallow it down, suppress, pushing down our feelings, it's not going anywhere. And eventually it's going to all just explode out, and some other poor sap is going to pay the price, because we didn't feel our feelings and allow that to come up in us and accept it. And then so next guy that comes along and accidentally does this or that, we're going to rah! So, but we want to acknowledge our feelings. Our feelings are true. And so, but now we're talking about, like, okay, so, time has passed, and am I still calling up the situation? Am I still talking about the situation? Am I still ruminating over the situation? Am I still holding on to that situation and keeping that going in my mind? Because now that's on me. Yeah. When the incident first occurred, things play out the way they play out naturally. But then when I walk off and decide to start replaying it in my mind and stuff, and not with an idea of how can we come together and resolve this, but more just kind of that thing. That's on us. So that's one aspect. Now, the other thing is sometimes people so this is a little more difficult to articulate right now, because this is something that I am presently experiencing, and sometimes I'm trying to feel the feelings and so that I can speak to you the way I really feel, and then I have to kind of put it into words. Just a moment. It's a little bit warm in here. So if there is a person that's in your realm of experiences right now, and this person is just trying you at every turn, maybe not even on purpose, something about this person, it does not resonate. It's like, I like to think of myself as tolerant and compassionate and forgiving and patient, but I'm ready to punch somebody in the mouth over here. Just feel this feeling like, you know, we're human, and sometimes, what do they say, sometimes people rub us the wrong way. We just don't vibrate on the same wavelength or something, and it just kind of grates. It's grating. It grates on you, just like, oh. So what do I do? You guys help me. What do I do? I'm just kidding. You gotta own it. I gotta own this. Because, this person, like we said, may not even be aware of the effect that something about them is having on you. But yet and still. So personally, share a little bit of personal stuff right now. I'm just really trying to break it down, break it down for real and say, if this is something that is going to impede my growth, just because what? Is it pride? Yeah, I think part of it is pride. I think a small part of it is pride, though. Sometimes it could be just, we come from different walks of life sometimes, and sometimes if we've come up in a way that it teaches certain, certain way of being, like, okay, this is proper behavior. We've been conditioned in that way. We have to understand that we're all conditioned in some way according to the culture in which we've been raised. We've been influenced by it. There's no getting around that. So that's part of it too. I've always understood that, X, Y, and Z is the correct way to behave. But you're all WK and, who knows what, and a number. And I don't know what the hell you're doing, but it doesn't look anything like what I've come to believe is proper, good behavior. You see, so we got to bring it back to that too, you see, and understand that my idea of what it should be is not the right idea of what it should be. It's just my perspective according to my upbringing and my conditioning and my conclusions that I've come along the way, that I've made about things and said, oh, okay, so this must mean that. Well, maybe not. So now, maybe we're applying that and we need to step back and say, hey, my way is not the right way. Another thing that can happen is sometimes people remind us of another person that, I'm just going to say, has had not a good impact on our life. Maybe there was some event, occurrence in our life that hurt us, wounded us some way, or even traumatized us. And We know that certain sensory input can trigger, past occurrences, smells, and things that we see, and music, all these things. They can recall to our minds things that have happened in the past that have hurt us, and so too with people. You see, and it could be that the person that you're dealing with today has some traits that strongly reflect someone that you've known in the past under those circumstances that we described. That ain't gonna feel good, you know. And it's not even that those traits in themselves are bad or good. They're neutral. We're going to say they're neutral for this discussion. But then you tag it on that fool that I had to deal with in the past, or that did something that hurt me in the past, and, or her, him or her, their personality was this, and this, or the way they spoke, stuff about them. And it could even be that this new cat, that's the only thing that's wrong with this guy, quote wrong, or woman, is that they really remind you of something. And so then you got all this inner stuff going on in your gut. So, and it could be other things too. But the bottom line is we are moving past the days of, okay, so this person has some things about them that I don't really care for, so I'm going to hate on them. And then that's okay. I'm going to carry that poison around, and I'm going to, destroy myself with this toxin running through me, and put that out in the environment, because we vibrate that stuff out. The way we feel, it's not just, no man is an island, you see. So we've kind of moved past that. Well, if this person wasn't this and this, so that gives me an excuse to harbor negative type feelings. No? Well, okay, yeah, you can do it if you want. We're all in the driver's seat of our own thing. But if we're really sincere and true about growing and allowing love to move through us even more and more and more, then we'll take ownership of the way we feel. And we may not even come to a full understanding, but at least we're open. We can speak with, if you pray, or you believe that there are angels, guardian angels, or guides, or you have your higher self, whatever source, you can go to that and ask for insight and understanding and compassion and just openness. Saying so, those are just some ideas that we had today that we wanted to pass on to you, and hopefully it's been encouraging for someone. And as always, we want to wish you much love. Bye.